In this screencast, we're going to look at the main options for controlling how FARR displays results. So let's hit the break key to bring up the FARR window and start typing note, for example. And we see our standard display. Here we've got 5 results shown. Let's go into the options and see where we tell it to display only 5 results. It's right here. This controls how many results are shown in a normal search. The second value here controls how many results are shown if you're doing a directory browsing. If you remember, we can hit escape and do C:/Windows, for example, and you can see now there are 8 results. The top 8 results were found. Let's go back to our normal search. Now there's a separate setting for how large to grow the window. Normally, and this option controls it, FARR will grow and shrink the window to fit the number of results found. It's just a nice visual tweak. So if we type the plus show all option, if you'll remember that, we can see now all 86 are found. And we can scroll to see them. And how many are actually shown in this window? Well, there are 15 shown in this window because of this option here. So we've told FARR, you're free to grow the window size up to 15, and then after that, the scroll bar will be used. Now you'll notice something else happened, which is that FARR switched into this small tabular display mode instead of the default slide mode, which had multiple rows for each item. Well, what controlled that is this option here that says switch from large to small icons. Switch from large to small icons to fit results. So as soon as we had more than 5, FARR knew, okay, I better switch to the small result mode in order to show more results. We could change that. We could disable that, in which case you'd see a lot more, you'd see it stay in the large result mode. What else do we have? If we look at this, let's stay in this small result mode for a second. We can see now we've got separate columns here. We can actually turn on the column headers. I'm just going to go back. In fact, you can stay in small mode always with this option here. So let's try that. It'll just make it a little bit easier with only 5 results. Okay, so I've told it to always display results in small mode. Then we can look at this option to hide and show the column headers. You might want to have that while you're learning FARR and then turn it off after you've got the hang of it. You can control which columns get shown. You could turn off the score if you don't need it. You could turn off the location. You could add information about the date of the file. You could turn off the number here. You could add a column to tell you whether it's a shortcut link or a MP3 or document file, etc. And all of those options hold also for the slide mode. So you can see now we've got rows for each of these things. So I could turn off the date, turn off the type. If I'm sick of scoring, I could turn off the scores. This row here is the location. It's showing you where in the start menu it's found each item. We've actually got some controls of that. We can show 2 levels back, programs, accessories, etc. We could show relative to the search, which is not much different, but if you're searching several directories, not just the start menu, that can actually be quite useful. Or we can show the full path of each result. Let's go back to 1 level back, which is what I like. Let's see, is there anything else to show you here? This option here is useful when you've got your Windows desktop set up to use large icons. That can actually be affected by that. The best thing to do is just experiment. You can turn on the label extension in the file name. You can see these are all shortcuts, so it's not that useful, maybe when you're first starting out. On directory listings, that's actually useful. And what else? If you're searching lots of different subdirectories, you may want to enable this option, which shows you in the status bar which specific subdirectory is being searched as it's searching. And I guess that's enough to get you started. So that'll do it for the normal display options in FARR. Hope you've find some configuration that suits your tastes.